Hi everyone, my name is Zoika and this is my project LegalAI, which is an AI system that helps analyze and compare contracts automatically. Instead of spending hours manually reviewing documents, this app extracts clauses, summarizes them, and lays the foundation for understanding which terms are more favorable to each party. LegalAI is a retrieval augmented generation, or RAG pipeline that runs on Fast API for the backend, Ollama for local LLM inference, Fies for vector search, and AWS S3 for storage. Everything's containerized with Docker, so it can run locally or on EC2. The workflow happens in two main steps: uploading a contract and then processing it. Right now, I'm using the Fast API Docs interference to upload contracts. I'll start by uploading a sample contract PDF, which I have here. This step will save the raw file to S3 and then it will return a unique contract ID. So now I'll just select the contract, hit execute, and you can see the extracted text was a success and it also returned a unique contract ID. Now I'll switch to the process contract endpoint and paste the contract ID. This is where the real AI work happens, and since this is a fairly large document, it's expected to take a little bit of time, like around 15 seconds, so I've already processed it. I'll also give a little bit of an overview of what actually happens. The backend reads the extracted text that we just uploaded from S3 and then splits it into clauses. For sections that don't match, it falls back to token-based chunking, ensuring that nothing gets lost. Each chunk of text is then passed to Llama 3.2, the model that I'm using, which is running locally through Ollama, and it generates embeddings. Those embeddings are indexed with Fies, so later on I can compare similar clauses or search across contracts semantically. And then finally, all the processed outputs, the summaries, clause data, embeddings, are saved back to S3 in a structured JSON format. And since the processing is already complete, we can see that the system has turned a raw legal PDF into a machine-readable structured data. Here I'm at a random clause. As you can see, the clause type, the parties involved, the summary of the clause, if it's biased towards any party, the risks along with it, any obligations that need to be taken notice of, and it also indicates any duration that needs to be also paid attention to. It does it for every single clause. I'll scroll to another random one. This is an assignment clause. As you can see, there are certain risks, saying negative impact on client if the provider assigns or transfers rights without permission, and it also describes the obligation. So now I will head back to Fast API and I'll show you the query aspect of the project. So by just entering the contract ID, you may ask any question about the contract, like what are the termination conditions of the contract? I'll hit execute, and then in a second you will see the answer, and here it is. It's a pretty lengthy one. It mentions any termination conditions, 30 days, services, the date termination. I'll just do a simpler answer. What about the payment conditions? Let's see what that will say. Yeah, the model summarizes the relevant clause and it explained its meaning in a clear language for us. So yeah, thank you for watching. I wanted to mention that the next step for LegalAI is expanding beyond individual contracts. I'm working on a clause comparison and clustering model, which will group similar clauses across multiple agreements, not just analyzing single contracts like I just showed you. This will hopefully make it possible to spot deviations from standard terms or identify risky patterns across an organization's entire contract library. LegalAI already detects bias, risks, and obligations at the clause level, and this next step will allow cross-contract intelligence and benchmarking. Thank you so much for watching. This was LegalAI.